Hello, I'm Washboardjim with a sneaky snake trading strategy where I talk about chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now. And right now I want to talk about how we looked at the trade at the end of the day. It was kind of a long, dragged out day. Let me do something here. It was kind of a long, dragged out day, and I kind of took my patience today. I scalped a SPY and the SPX. First thing in the morning, got all them trades out of the way, and then missed the run and just kind of sat there like a bump on a log. And I said, well, I'm going to enjoy my day, so I sat around waiting for my setups. Well, they started showing up at the end of the day, and I'm going to show you exactly what it is. Remember, I talk about chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now. And that's part of the now. Today I felt like I wasn't all there because I was missed out on the long run that happened first thing in the morning and never did want to pull back, wait for my opportunity to get into the trade. So this is it. We had the big breakout, and then she just kept running up, and went sideways most of the day, and then we had another bounce up, and I was scalping here and there. I think I got 4 scalps in by the time we started hitting after hours. So we had this big pullback right here, and we hit the 200 SMA. And I was talking to the room. I said, we were up in here, and I said, well, I'm going to be a little bit more patient and wait for it, see if it wants to hold this 63 EMA. And that's my moving averages. And it kept under the 9, so it never did really break the 9, which kind of kept me thinking I want to still be bearish. Well, we come up and we run and hit the 9 again. Then we went down below the 63 and couldn't break the 63 EMA. And we still held under the 9. And then when we started, said, I'm going to wait until we hit the 200 SMA. So we got the 200 SMA right here. And we have the 200 EMA right here. So we developed a little channel here, and I called out the trade. Once it hit that 200, and I saw this hammer right here. Came down and it kind of broke out a little bit, and I was up a little bit, and it came back and retouched that 200 SMA again, and I stayed in the trade. And then we run it on up, and I got out of the trade up here at the 50 SMA. So these are all my moving averages. I got the 9 EMA, the 21 EMA, the 63 EMA, and then on the, I don't have the 200 EMA. Yeah, there's the 200 EMA right here. In SMAs, I got the 200 SMA and the 50 SMA. So let me go over these again. The 200 EMA, the 200 SMA, the 9 EMA, the 21 EMA, the 63 EMA, and the 50 SMA. So we broke out, and I got out of the trade and made $100 contract, 110, something like that. Then it bounced around a little bit, and it pulled back again. So I called the trade out again. And I said, let's see if we hit the 200 EMA this time. And we came down and hit that 200 EMA. So there's another snake right here. This is a fallen wedge. This one here is more or less just a channel coming down. But this next one's a fallen wedge. Or it could have been almost like a snake. More or less fallen wedge. Pretty close to a snake too. So we had another channel going down and hit the 200 EMA and bounced on up and got out of that trade. And then I called out another one. So we had two snakes, and then we had what you call a head and shoulders at the end of the day. Take this left shoulder, run it into that right shoulder, and I called out this head and shoulders. And then that thing bounced up, and that was like a $2 contract for each contract. They went up all the way to $2 a contract, $115 to $240, something like that, $270. But I didn't take this trade. I took these two right here. But I kind of wishing I would have took. I called it out. I said, just an inverse head and shoulders down here. You might want to take it. You got your left shoulder, your head, and your right shoulder. So at the end of the day, during power hour, we had the snake to the 200 breakout. Then we had another snake to the 200 EMA breakout. And then we had an inverse head and shoulders breakout to a double top for great trades. So that's just something I do. I use, like I said, use chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now. And you'd be surprised how many, and this is all done on the 1 minute time frame. So if you got in a habit and want to take the time out and learn how to do this strategy, write down them moving averages. That's the pencil and paper out. You got your 200 EMA, your 63 EMA, your SMA, the 200, 9 EMA, the 200 EMA, and the 50 SMA. I got the SMAs on there for the golden crosses, and I like to catch that off on the 1 minute. I like to use that 200 SMA and the 50 SMA for resistance levels. But I more or less rely on the 63. You see, we had that breakout here, and it came back and touched the 63. We've had a little down below the 63, and it didn't break it, so that was kind of like a pivot point. Then we 63 in here. So yeah, again, 200, the 2 SMA, the 200 EMA, and then the head and shoulders, the inverse head and shoulders, and boom, right at the end, all within 1 hour of getting all them trades done. I wish everybody a great day. This is the Sneaky Snake trading strategy, where I talk about chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now.